So somebody made some comments on one of my videos, and it's clear to me that either somebody is trying to perpetuate misinformation or they just don't know what's going on. So here's the actual facts with links that you can actually, figure out yourself. Let's uh let's first amend this link so it actually goes to the right thing instead of my search, and you can see the URL in my thing right there, okay? Now, if you look at this, it's a lawyer's page that actually talks about Section 174 and the efforts to overturn it. If you go back, you'll find that we're actually one of the most recent versions of attempts to do this is HR 7024. If I look up that information online in congress.gov and I look at the actual bill information, I find that the most recent action was actually Senator Schumer to consider the vote and cloture on the motion to proceed the measure not invoked by Senate. Basically, what this means is people are trying to pass this bill and the GOP are actively getting in the way. Okay. If I go back and I go to the actual text of it, I can look for 174 and I can talk about how they basically wanted to kick the can down the road, but at least that would have allowed startups to exist. They also wanted to make some very nice changes to suspension of applications of sections of domestic research and experimental expenditures. Basically saying, look, we don't have to deal with Section 174 anymore as long as everything is onshore and everything is American based. If you're an American citizen or a green card holder, you don't have to deal with this BS anymore. And the problem here is that if you look at the actual actions on it, you find that it's the GOP that is voting no. Okay. D, yes. R, nay. Every single time. Nay, 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 nay. Okay. Yes, there are some Democrats, but they are the minority and they are the ones that are known to be sympathetic to Republican interests in many cases. And so the problem here is if you look at this, you'll find that the Democrats are actively trying to get rid of Section 174. The Republicans are voting against it. Why? Because they are in Trump's pocket. If something that Trump passed during his presidency is on the table to be changed, they consider its removal or change to be him losing, and therefore they consider themselves to be losing. They are actively trying to keep Section 174 around for no other reason than because they don't want to lose face. They don't care, or they're in a position to benefit from it, so they don't want it to be changed. Fact is, they're willing to sell out the national security of America for their own personal interests. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, Dwayne, why can't Kamala just fix it now? Because of this BS. That's why. Okay. Because she's the vice president. But you know what? She's still got to pass things through the House and the Senate. And the Senate is actually blocking it. Okay. Because of the Republicans that actively don't want it to be fixed because of the election cycle, because Trump is trying to become president again. And so if something of his changes or gets voted out or gets voted to be changed, they perceive that as political weakness that hurts his ability to get reelected, which means they won't allow it. The GOP is actively in the way. This is why, in my opinion, I need to help Kamala Harris win the presidency, because in my mind, I am a single issue voter. I only care about Section 174 and kicking it to the curb so that the tech industry can rebound and we can all have the jobs and lives that we worked so hard for. I am not going to sit here and tell you what to do when it comes to politics. That is not my job. My job is to get to work and to write code, but I am not being allowed to do that because of Section 174. As a result of that, I want it gone. And all of these Republicans are in my way, which means, from my perspective, I am willing to do anything I need to get these Republicans gone, as long as I'm leveraging the system as it is and following the rules. And that requires that I vote. So, yes, Kamala does not have the right to fix this on her own as the vice president. She would have more power if she was president. It would also keep Trump from being president again, which would allow us to actively go out and say, look, your policy was bad. Let's fix it. And that is what I want. And so if you are replying to my videos and trying to make the false claim that the GOP supports the the removal of section 174, I am looking at the evidence right here, and there are more Republicans than there are Democrats voting this down. So stop making those claims, because I will remove your comments every time, because you are perpetuating misinformation when I'm looking at the evidence right here, and now so are you, and that should be enough.